Yes, it's here. Bwine F7. Let's open it up. See what's inside. Nice. User manual. Bag. Let's look inside. Cool. There's the drone. Controller. Cool. Very light. Small. Awesome. Inside we've got batteries, propellers, controller. Yeah, cool. Phone mount. Don't you love that sound? Cool. Looking good. Here's the actual drone. I like the style of the feet down here. I'll do things like hook flashlights to a drone. That gives you a place to hook the flashlight. I also like being able to land somewhere and not be hitting your props. This keeps it away from the ground. But then I also like that I've got this foldable design up top, so it's still really compact.
Let's go straight back. This folds down. Let's go straight back.
So it kind of opens up like that. 4K. Now it does, I think it says it only does 15 frames a second, which is not going to be any good. But we'll test it and see what it looks like. There's the camera. It's on the gimbal there. We'll see how that works. See how stable that is. It's got, looks like something in there, but it does not have any sort of obstacle avoidance at all. The motors look good. Props. I think this is going to be cool. What are those?
Drone safety rules.
But what do we do with that one? These really important instruction books, and these are super, super good. We'll just set that over here with the other really important things. There we go. Okay. We got some spare props. Now I never crash, so I won't need those, but they sent them to me anyway, right? That comes in the kit. And then the extra battery. Here's a close-up of the battery. I love, love, love that the battery has a USB-C port right on there, making charging much, much easier. There's the cable you get as well. Let's pull the battery out. Easy, one-handed, just pops right out. Feels great. We'll charge these babies up. Started charging. We'll charge up the controller. There's the antennas. Scroll wheel, video button, camera button, back. Looks good. And then you'll mount your phone up here so you can get your live feed. A few general impressions. The plastic on the drone, if I compare this to something like a Mavic, the plastic on this definitely feels cheaper. The motion of these arms moving is kind of stuttered as you open and close it. And something like the Mavic feels really good when the legs pop in and out. So this does not have that. Definitely lighter, cheaper plastic. What do you think of the drone?
I think it's really cool. I'm surprised how much blades there are. It's a really good drone.
Do you like how this folds out?
Uh-huh.
Do you see how these fold out like that? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Also, this one just folds straight back like this, but then this one goes straight down. Like that. Oops. How do you like it?
Good.
Is that pretty cool?
Well, open this, then this, then you open this.
Okay, and what's that clip for on top?
Your phone.
You stick the phone there, that'll be your
Sorry,
camera.
I just forgot.
And then what's the bottom? The bottom is like handles, right?
Right.
Okay, so what does this button do over here?
I have no idea.
We'll find out. What does this button do?
It stops the drone.
What does this button do?
it puts it on, which we don't want to do right now because we're in our house.
That's a good call, yep.
These sticks are pretty comfortable.
They do feel good and springy and even all over. It's not doing anything like when you push a direction. It doesn't feel like there's any spots where doesn't have the same resistance. So that feels good. But the actual stick itself, on a more expensive drone, you get a metal tip on the joystick, and this does not have that. But it does have the right shape to be able to keep a grip on your thumb. So we'll see how that works when we're actually flying. It looks good, and it looks like it will be comfortable, and it looks like it'll do the job. Camera button, the rubber pads. A lot of times in a cheaper drone, these pads will be just really crappy plastic, but these are really good, solid, really good sticky rubber. Now we got to charge up the controller, right? Mm-hmm. Let's charge this baby. What did you do with the safety book?
The safety book.
Does it say don't run into your kids?
Oh, this one's the safety book, and this one's just controlling the drone, and then this one's for your phone, I think.
The initial impressions.
Looks cool.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I think I turned it on.
We're dead. So we got the controller charging now. The screen looks good and bright. We'll see what it's like in direct sunlight. We'll take this baby flying. We're going to connect to this bad boy and see if we need a firmware update or anything. Now it said it takes about 40 seconds to pair. When you install the app, it gives you a little instructional video of what it's going to do.
GPS mode.
It says, a little bit of a glare in here. I can see the screen fine, but the camera's picking up a ton of glare. So when you start the app, it does offer this tutorial video. I watched that, and it does a good job at giving you a quick overview, so highly recommended. Okay, turn it, unfold the drones. It teaches you to do the long press on the button, unfold the arms, remove the gimbal cover. It just says long press to turn on the drone, so just pushing and holding that button. Unfold the arms and the antennas, unfold the handle, click twice. Takes about 40 seconds to pair. And then from the phone, we'll connect to the network. I'm not a huge fan of needing to connect my phone to another network. That's kind of annoying, but we'll do that real quick here. Stick in the memory card in the back of the camera. So you can zoom in. So if we look at the screen here, I've got the drone right behind me, and if I keep pushing up on this wheel, it does a digital zoom. And that's pretty fun to be able to do. I obviously prefer optical zoom, but it's still fun to be able to zoom in if you're trying to look at something or trying to get a picture of something far away. Gimbal down, gimbal up. Looking good. I'm not a fan of mounting the phone up top. I'd really rather it mount down here, because when it mounts up top, when you set it down, it doesn't sit flat, and so you end up needing to just sell it like that, and so just not a good experience. We're ready to fly. Let's do this. We are here out by Utah Lake. This is where I like to do lots of my flying. We're going to record our first flight, show what it's like, show the drone, show how well it flies. We'll test return to home. We'll fly around, get a bunch of pictures and video. We got our drone bag, easy peasy. We've got our drone inside, unpack that. We've got our controller, we'll pull that out. We've got the spare battery and props. We won't need the spare props, but we'll need the spare battery because we'll burn through them. We'll see how she flies. We'll fly out, do some ranged flying around the park, and then get some pictures and video. It's going to be great. Can you see me?
Well, your head was cut off.
Can I
Okay.
have some water?
No, don't ask for anything. Go back over there. You can't ask questions or talk because I'm recording a video. Are you recording right now?
Dad, yes.
You can't ask questions. What the heck? Okay. What the heck? Why is there so much whiting? How am I supposed to ever show the drone? Okay. Kids. Here's the Bwine F7. We'll pop this baby open. We're good. We'll take the gimbal clamp off. Down here. Pop that off. We'll power on the drone with a long press. We'll turn this on. Now you gotta go to the Wi-Fi, make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi, and I am. And then hit controls here. And we'll do a first flight. This still says connecting. This is pretty exciting. Do you think the audience is excited about this? I'm gonna have to like fast forward this part of the video because it's not gonna be very fun to watch. I looked up the instructions. I'm doing everything the instructions say and everything that was in the pairing video. So the problem that we were having the first day is that the SD card was corrupt. So I popped in a fresh SD card and let the drone format it, and the drone successfully formatted it, but then it would never connect again to the controller after powering down after that format. So I reformatted the card on a computer. It said it was corrupt. I popped it back into the drone, and then the drone again wouldn't connect. So I pulled the card out. The drone connected. I then popped the card back in with the drone booted up and connected, and now the card's fine. So no idea why that's so finicky, but we'll test that more tomorrow. That's good. Swiping to land. And it did great that time. So I told it to land, and it's just jumping up and down, bouncing off of the grass. So now I'm holding down on the left stick. And it eventually finally shut down. We made it back to the park. We're gonna see what it's like to set this baby up. Got our controller, drone. Bring out the arms. Got a battery in. Controller. Looking good. First start this up. Wait till the lights go. And it's up. Double click of the controller button. It says connecting. We'll wait 40 seconds. Okay, it did not connect. This is kind of weird that I've had to do this before to make it connect. I frequently have to grab this, pull out the card, then it connects. Very weird. Then Put the card back in. Got the app pulled up. We're gonna hit controls. It's gonna tell us to do the gimbal calibration. Did the drone dance. Looking good. Looking good. Let's go. Okay. Gonna hit record. We're recording. We'll take off. Looking good. So the camera's crooked. Don't come close. If you straighten the camera, that seems to fix it. So weird. I need a way to just like reset the gimbal, but I don't think it can. Okay, we're in sports mode. Let's see what this baby can do. Camera's real crooked still. It's kind of windy, and it's fine, okay. Look at the drone. The camera's all screwy. Why is it doing that? There's the camera. For some reason, it's doing that. Why, I do not know. Okay, there's the camera. You'll notice it's just pointed up for no reason, and it's crooked. Then we're gonna punch it again. And the camera's screwed up again. We're gonna land. We're gonna try to fix it, but when we fix it, I think it's gonna make us redo the whole setup again. So I don't see a way to say recalibrate gimbal. I held down and told it to land, and instead of landing it bounced, and it's continuing to bounce. And so I keep pushing it back up. Now it's done bouncing. I'm gonna go land in the grass and watch it bounce when it tries to land. Okay, I'm gonna hold it right there. I'm gonna hold down, and then I'm gonna let go, and then it's gonna float up and down, sometimes smacking itself on the ground for some reason. Then I'm gonna press and hold, and that will make it land. But it takes a while. Very odd. We're gonna take off. We're in sports mode. So we'll punch up, then we'll punch forward. We'll see if we can fly out to the lake. Say bye-bye, drone.
Bye-bye, drone.
Can we see this at all, or is it too, there might be too much reflection, but we're flying out to the lake.
Okay.
See if it makes it far enough. Hopefully it doesn't land on those nice people. We'll go over a little bit and keep going. Getting some good video of the lake. And then we'll fly back to us. It made it. Woo! Let's do some pictures. Right here, I'm gonna land. This should give me this as my home point. I'm holding down on the stick still. If I let go, then it takes off and bounces for some reason. That's not good. Okay, so now I'm gonna, can you see my controller? I want the whole thing, there we go. I'm gonna hold down on the stick, and then it will stop if you keep holding down, but it's odd that it sits and bounces if you don't keep holding down. Very odd. Okay, I'm gonna hit record and start recording a video, and I'm gonna take off, and I'm gonna fly out to that soccer field, show us the soccer field. and then I'm gonna tell it to fly home automatically, and we'll see if it ever makes it back. You guys think it'll make it?
Yes.
Okay. It's pretty quick. Flies pretty well.
Okay.
Keep recording. It's hard to see on that little camera, but you'll be able to make it out. Stay here. Okay. I've now turned and I'm facing back at us. And now I'm going to hit. Please ensure the landing position of the aircraft is safe to avoid. Okay, so I hit return home and it just says slide to the right. So it says it's coming back. It's going high. I set the return home height to, what did I set it to? I thought it was only 75, but it's going pretty high.
Is it flying away?
It looks like it. And it won't stop either. It's not stopping.
Look at that. There's a speck in the air. It's just a speck.
So once you've told it to return home, you cannot stop it. So
And he went pretty high to return home. He might. They need that. They need more.
so my
I don't think it's gonna come down.
well, I think it's gonna come down on top of us.
That'd be amazing.
It's not giving me a height or anything right now. It still says going home.
Daddy, it's going.
It says the height is 49 meters.
49? That looks like 100.
So I need to go set the height to like 25 meters.
Yeah.
That went very high. Yeah, it is gonna land. It didn't just stop up in the sky. That was good. Now let's see if it'll land on its own. I am gonna push it over because, so notice that is not where we took off. We took off over here. So I'm gonna let it finish landing and let's see if it does that weird bounce thing. It still says going home. Hey, that worked. We're gonna take off. I hit record and it says setting on the screen for some reason. I'm not sure why. It will let me take off. Okay, I'm gonna take off. We're gonna do the same flight. You'll notice because I landed in the grass, the camera is now tilted sideways for some reason. Let's see if we can fix this by landing and then taking off again. So it just can't take off in the grass. And it does say not to, but you don't want to take off on the hard cement when you're returning home automatically. But since that's what it wants us to do, we'll try it.
As you see, camera's wobbly again.
Yeah, camera's messed up. Look. Now I'm gonna hit return to home. Hit return to home again, sliding again. It did nothing again. Okay, it did nothing. I pushed the go home button on the controller. Now it says going home, so that worked. Yeah, so now it should be coming over and then it should be coming down. I didn't say 60 meters. I said 60 feet and it went up 60 meters instead.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Now it's coming this way. Get ready for it to fall on us.
Get ready.
It's very high. It should not have gone that high. But it says it's landing.
For it to fall.
It's say going home. Okay, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Okay. Ooh, walk over close. Come on over close. Now let's see, we took off here on the sidewalk and it's looking like it might land. Look at this. This is gonna land successfully. It successfully returned home to the point of takeoff. Give it a little bounce. It did it. It successfully returned home. Well, good work, drone. So I've now come into the settings screen multiple times and I've set this down to 65 multiple times and then I hit save. This is now the third time I'm doing it. It says save. It acts like it's setting it. It says setting. Loads for a long time. So settings like this are important. Some of the things that kind of don't work super great aren't that big of a deal, but this one is a danger thing. It's set to 62 feet. I'm hitting back out here now. Hitting here. And notice it reset it again to 250 feet. Not taking a setting change like that is a big deal. That can't happen. So one thing that I really like is that I am just charging this on a USB-C battery right now in my battery bag. And that's cool. That's nice to have it USB-C rechargeable. So we'll pop in another battery and do some more testing here. Picture of this and lift off. We are in sports mode and now it's landing. It says going home. So the battery was low, that's why it said landing, but it's 25% and I have no control to stop the drone right now. So at 25% it just initiated go home and it did not tell me, would you like to, are you sure, nothing like that. It just said, I'm going home, and it left and it went home. So right now it's telling me to do this with the sticks to go into calibration mode, and notice it took several attempts before it did anything. That's pretty common with this so far. Now watch me do the drone. It does make you do that on every restart, even if you've just done it and then shut down and then power back up or replace the battery. It makes you do that every single time. Okay, let's see the drone. Hitting record, starting up. I'm gonna take off and get out of here. We'll go out to the lake. So the range is pretty good. Come back here and sit down.
I see you try and follow me around the park.
Go for it. So we're going all the way out to the lake. This is pretty good. It says we're about 800 feet away, which is great. And then you can zoom in. Take a look at some of those birds over there. So it's a digital zoom, which isn't great quality speaking, just because digital zoom I'm not a fan of. But it is cool to have it so you can get a closer look at something like those ducks over there. But notice we're not adding any detail by zooming in, so it's a way to take a look, but not great. Now we won't sit and fly over the water in case this baby drops out of the air. But we went out to the lake, which is good. We'll cruise around out here. Hello.
Hello. Come on, Annabelle. That's a pretty name.
I don't think it can see the screen even. See how it's cutting off half the screen? So it was pretty good. It flew out there.
I can hear the drone, I just can't see the drone. Oh, there it is, down there.
Yeah. So we'll come over here. This is pretty impressive. It's doing all right.
Now try have it come back home over here. Let's see if it can do that.
You want to do another return to home test and see if it comes back?
Yeah.
Not yet. Notice it's not super stable either. It's a little breezy and it has quite a bit of wiggle in the video.
Hey, look at that biker.
Yep, hi biker. So this is flying pretty well. Again, I'm not a big fan of the video, but at least we're up in the air and we are flying in the breeze and it's going forward. It's doing well. Video started to cut out, so I'm turning and facing the drone. There we go, and it connected back up. Not too bad. Now, why don't you just hold it and point it that way so that you stop doing that. There you go. Now let's hit go home. It says going home. Let's see if it makes it all the way back or not. It is going up to 165 feet, even though I set it to 60 feet multiple times.
And that's because every time.
It's gone up to 250 feet, 260, 252. Now it's coming back.
It's restarting itself. So that's why it won't stay at the feet that they put it. He puts it. Because it's restarting.
It's not restarting, it's landing. And I told it to go home, and somebody's running past us here, so I need to cancel that. Oh, there we go. To exit go home, you just have to press go home again. So that did work. But stop really should stop it from going home, and it does not. That's a problem. She threw a stick to see if it would fetch, and it did not. Okay, it's following you again. Just walk that way, the other way. Walk in front of me. It lost you. It lost you again. Okay, walk again. Okay, it's got you. Walk nice and slow. Keep going. Good, keep going. Good. It's following her. Now it says it can follow a smooth walk. Now walk towards this soccer goal. See if it turns. So that's you can't see super well, but there's her staying within frame. Drone has turned to keep her in frame. So far so good. Video's looking good. It's doing just like it should. Now go to the soccer field. Let's see if it follows you. So it sees her going away, but it didn't follow her. Now it's doing GPS follow. It's doing, there we go, it came, it took a sec, but it's coming. So there's no on-screen indication that it's following besides that little tiny icon that says that's the mode it's in. But it's not telling me that it's doing that. Let's go over here. It's doing all right, yeah. It's doing it. Should we run to the other soccer goal?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So I'm not in frame of the video anymore. But it is following me.
Doing it, alright?
Well, that's cool. That's a cool mode. I'm trying to change modes now. And it won't. Now it's stuck on GPS follow. And I can't get GPS follow to turn off. See, yeah, if you have an emergency, you can click and then click hold on stop. And boy, does it stop. So while you might think you're just like stopping your current mode, or maybe that you're stopping a smart flight mode, instead it just drops.
And I definitely like the where it could follow somebody. So I think
The tracking. I told it to take off. It's doing nothing. I told it again, and it did. I hit up, it lifted up. It's looking good. We're gonna switch it to sport mode, and we're gonna fly. I did not turn. Oh, it's now landing. So it just started coming back on its own. And it is gonna land because the battery is low. No warning, no, it didn't tell me that it was gonna do this, it just did it as I was shooting forward. Some pros. I love the USB-C charging. I love that it all comes in a bag. I get a charger, built-in charger on each battery with the USB-C. It flew pretty well in the wind, right? It was pretty stable and flew really well. The two big things that really, really worry me are the bouncing on land, because that's a big deal.
yeah.
Beat up the drone, or if like there were people walking around and it bounced up and down on their heads or something, like that could be real bad.
Yeah.
And then the second thing was when the battery was real low and I was punching full throttle forward and it just stopped and started coming home. That's unacceptable. It cannot start returning home out of low battery without telling the user first. It's got to say, hey, I got to go home, and then allow me to cancel it, because if it just takes over, anytime it takes over my control without me knowing, that's very dangerous. I could hit a person, I could hit a tree. What if I was following some kids on their bikes or something, and then it just takes over and drives itself home? So we're going to have Matilda fly. She's flown lots of camera drones and some FPV drone as well. So she's an experienced pilot. We got to calibrate the compass. So hold this and point this at me. And we're going to do the drone down. It has us do this constantly because it likes us to look silly. Look. But it does happen quickly and accurately, so that's okay. And then you're going to hit up on the left stick and it'll take off.
Up on
Up, yep. Good. Now go forward. It should not have gone backward. Did you pull it backward?
No.
Weird. So it went backward without her doing anything. So that's forward.
Moving pretty slow.
And then it just took off. Now, did it start coming back?
It just landed on its own. I'm not even doing it. Look.
Okay, battery is low. So the reason why it started acting stupid is because the battery is low. Instead of telling us, low battery, can't take off, or low battery, it instead just took off backward, shot into the weeds. And then she was able to go push forward, and it did go forward. But then it froze and started coming back again, and then finally landed. So again, low battery definitely needs some improvement. After I pulled the card out to check out the video, I went and looked, and my Mac reported that the disk attached was not readable by this computer. And then I tried to do a disk repair, and the disk repair failed. I threw the card into my Windows machine, and it actually blue screened the machine. I was able to get the pictures and video off for this video, but it did blue screen the machine when I ejected the card. So that was odd. I've never had any problems with that card. I am regularly using that card in other devices, so it was odd to have such a weird problem with it. But I don't know if that's normal or if that's a firmware problem or what, but kind of an odd happening. To close out the video, here are some videos of some DJI FPV flying I've been doing recently in some really beautiful locations. Big thanks to Bwine for sending the drone out. This is the first time we've had something like this on the channel. It was a really, really fun opportunity. We had a lot of fun with it, so thanks Bwine. Thank you for watching. Rate, comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more cool videos.